Inbound season is upon us, everybody, so get ready because Inbound 2025 will bring together, once again, the brightest minds in marketing, sales, and AI to explore what's now and what's next. The event is taking place September 3rd to 5th at the Moscone Center in San Francisco, and this three-day experience features inspiring keynotes, tactical breakout sessions, exclusive product reveals, and immersive workshops. You can network with industry leaders and gain actionable insights to implement immediately for your company. The speakers we got on the docket are great this year. We got Amy Poehler, Marquez Brownlee, Sean Evans, Glennon Doyle, and many others. You're not going to want to miss it. You can go to inbound.com/register to secure your spot at Inbound 2025. Good morning and happy Friday, everybody. Today's June 27th. I'm Jon Weigell here with Juliet Bennett, and this is the Hustle Daily Show. Youth fashion and culture publication Nylon is taking a different approach to monetizing a media company. The editorial is committed to creating exclusive, free-to-attend events to assemble a space of influencers who are, quote, cool enough. What that means exactly, we're not so sure, but more importantly, how is the company making any money from this approach? We'll chat about that in a bit, but first, let's give the news in business and tech. It's all to you, Juliet.
The hottest business of 2025 is apparently a used bookstore near an AI office. Anthropic, maker of Claude and subject of endless copyright lawsuits like every other AI leader, had one model training tactic revealed in court this week. It spent many millions of dollars buying up used books, unbinding them, cutting pages, scanning them, and ultimately binning them. The judge ruled it was fair use to digitize the library full of print books the company had purchased. What the judge wasn't on board with, Anthropic also pirated over 7 million books. It's time to say goodbye to Windows' blue screen of death. For 40 years, a blue screen with an error message has informed frustrated Windows users of a big bad error, but no more. This summer, Microsoft will replace it with a simple black screen announcing an error and what went wrong. David Weston, Microsoft's Vice President of Enterprise and Security, told The Verge that this change is an attempt at clarity and providing better information, allowing users to identify and fix issues faster. Walmart is testing dark stores, which sounds kind of cool, but actually these stores exist only to fulfill online orders. Walmart will start with a pilot location in Dallas and then another for its hometown, Bentonville, Arkansas. BBC readers in the U.S. will soon have to pay $8.99 a month to access its online articles and the BBC News Channel's live stream as a way to drive revenue as annual licensing fees, which are paid by UK users, fall. And Anna Wintour, inspiration for The Devil Wears Prada, will step down as editor-in-chief of American Vogue after 37 years. She will remain Condé Nast's chief content officer and global editorial director at Vogue.
Okay, look, side hustles fail when they consume all of your time. I mean, every single bit of it. The pros, though, work smarter with AI doing all the heavy lifting. To help you out, we just dropped the Side Hustle Accelerator database. You can search your exact problem for your side hustle, grab the perfect prompt, and get results. If you're struggling with marketing, content, and customer service, it's all solved in just seconds. This isn't just another tool, guys. It's your unfair advantage in a spreadsheet. So stop asking AI the wrong questions and start scaling with what actually works. You can get it for free in the link in our show notes. And you can stop right now, actually. Why don't you take a look down at those show notes and tap the link. You don't want to sleep on this. Okay, so today we're talking about Nylon, a publication under Bustle Digital Group that is making quite a stir in the influencer world. Juliet, what is Nylon up to?
I didn't know this because I'm not cool, but apparently Nylon is so cool that its parties are just like everyone wants to be there because it's the who's who. Some people are going through apparently drastic efforts to try to get into these parties. Who thought?
Who would have thought?
My experience with Nylon is I see it on like a magazine rack and I don't really read it.
Right.
Not because I don't think it's good, but it's just not my beat. Like it's not the sort of thing that I read. But I did not know that it's parties where like apparently these killer soirees with like the best people that you want to stand next to and get selfies with if you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's insane. I didn't even know Nylon existed before we do this story, honestly. I used to work for the company that owns them. So I don't know how I haven't come across them. But you're saying, yeah, they're having these insane parties that are really exclusive and really fun. Can you tell me some details about what these parties are and how to get in, if you can?
No, because I'm not that cool.
Oh, geez.
I can't tell you. I was just reading that like, so they have these parties and, you know, whoever is on the list, it's like, this is the party to go to. This is where all of the cool people are at the Nylon party. And then there are, of course, some brand activations, which is what we're going to get to. But yeah, I guess they're just really cool. So like if you think about events like, for example, Coachella, South by Southwest or whatever,
sure,
there are always brand parties. And
right,
you know, you want to get into the cool ones where the cool people are, where the celebrities are. And in the case of Nylon, it would be Nylon. You want to go to the Nylon party if there is one at the event that you're attending.
You mentioned some brands. So with these parties, as you said, there's no entry fee. You just kind of go in, but you have to be invited and you have to be told where it is, what's happening. All very secretive. But when you think about it, how do they make money on these events exactly? Because they're having people come in for free. They're sending all these invites. They got to rent the venue. They got to do all this stuff. So where does the monetization come in for them?
Basically, brands want to be there. They want to be in front of these tastemakers, these celebrities, whoever. So, you know, they pay to be the tequila of choice. They pay to have something of theirs put in a swag bag. So essentially, brands are doing a large portion of the funding for these events just to be in front of the people who will be at the party.
So that's fascinating because a lot of other editorial publications monetize through different means, right? Usually through like, you know, a couple of headline clicks or ads on the site. This seems like to be a very new way of actually monetizing your brand and your content.
Yeah, I think what Nylon is doing now is interesting for a publication. It's not like this has never happened before, but what they're doing now is most magazines sell subscriptions. And in exchange for your subscription, you get that content. You get the magazine. You get access to, if it's the New York Times, you've got recipes and games that you can also have access to. In the case of Nylon, they're launching a new membership program. And this membership program is free, but it's also invite only. So you might be Nylon's biggest fan, but if you're just a person like me who, you know, you don't have a bunch of Instagram followers, you're not cool, you're not in the know, you are not going to be invited to be a member of the Nylon community. But according to Brian Goldberg, the CEO and founder of Nylon, who was talking to Fortune magazine about this, the goal is to get thousands of the most influential young tastemakers in America, ultimately 50,000 people who have about 100,000 social media followers each, for a reach of 5 billion people across this community. And these people, in exchange for being members, which is free, will get access to various events. And the entity who is paying is the brand that wants to be in front of this curated group of influencers wherever this event takes place. Right. So you can imagine 50,000 people that's going to be spread across the country. So you'll have a New York thing, you'll have an LA thing, you'll have a Chicago thing, you'll have an Austin thing. Wherever the tastemakers are, wherever they're concentrated, that's likely where these events will pop up. They will be very cool and you will 100% want your brand to be there. Just like it's already happening at these more standalone activations. But this will all be part of the Nylon membership ecosystem.
Yeah, I mean, fascinating strategy there, getting these big influencers with big followings to talk about your events, come to the events. Honestly, if you are, as you said, like a tequila brand or something, you're like Don Julio and people are taking videos of you pouring Don Julio shots at the event, that's a big win for you because now you're broadcast to 100,000 people per person, theoretically. So this is a great idea, I feel like, for Nylon to do because the exclusivity factor is really important here as well because it's the whole thing of like, you can't go unless you're on the inside, right? Unless you know somebody who knows somebody and you have to probably try really hard to get in if you're not already invited. So that exclusivity, that secrecy helps build the brand. It helps keeps the demand high. And then these other brands can come into the events and actually pay money to get in front of these people. So it seems to be like a pretty good idea, actually.
Yeah, I actually like it a lot and not necessarily for the exclusivity. Like what Nylon's doing, I think works for Nylon. But when you look at media publications across the board right now, most of them are suffering. It seems like every other week it's this one got acquired and they fired everybody and they're going to do clickbait.
There's a merger and then
Yeah, I love Polygon. I like video games, so I like Polygon.
Me too. Big fan of them.
Yeah, not excited to see what's going to happen with the new Polygon. I'm hoping that it's like still these in-depth game guides that I enjoy reading. And I'm hoping, since it was acquired by Valnet, that it doesn't look like other Valnet stories, which are inexplicably, why do I have to click 20 slides full of pop-up ads to get to the end of this article that is actually very short? So at a time when you've got these brands sort of cutting costs, cutting labor, putting out crap, farming for clicks, headlines that really don't go anywhere, lots of ads, what is a way a media company can make money without sacrificing the quality of its content? I think this is an interesting avenue. We've seen the New York Times gain subscribers and revenue by offering subscriptions to recipes and games, as I said earlier. Even if you don't read the New York Times for the news content, I know so many people who have a subscription and they do the crossword puzzle every single day.
Yeah.
And it's not like a crossword puzzle is like some new thing. We've been doing them for a long time. It's just the New York Times, through Wordle, through its suite of games, has really offered value to its subscribers. And I think there are a lot of other media companies that could be doing this. It doesn't have to be, we have assembled the coolest people in the world. It could just be niches. So Atlas Obscura is one of the publications I can think of that already does this. It was hard to find figures on how much they make doing this. But if you are a member of Atlas Obscura, which is, of course, ostensibly a travel publication that focuses on a lot of weird, quirky places you can go, but also content surrounding food and history. Mm-hmm. If you are a member, you pay for that. It's not a lot. I think it's something like $66 a year. You get access to member-only events. That might be trivia nights. A lot of them are online. And then Atlas Obscura also offers courses. I've really been wanting to take its lockpicking course.
Oh,
why?
Cool.
I am not a rogue in a video game. I do not need to know how to lock. I just want to. And then they also have experiences, like whole trips that you can go on and travel with other people who are interested in that kind of travel, where you're looking at, It's not spa day, it's we're going to go look at weird stuff day, which is great.
Sure.
That is the kind of trip I want to go on. So this membership, I know about it because it appeals to me. And I was trying to figure out how much money they made. It was like projected that they were going to make $4 million in 2023. I could not find anything that verified that figure. But I do know that Atlas Obscura is profitable. And that's rare a lot of times for media companies, especially media companies that have good long form content the way Atlas Obscura does. Mm-hmm. So I think this model where it's like, okay, we can't make money off print anymore. That's going out of style. We are suffering from making money on ad revenue. The clicks, they're not doing it for us. Where can we actually provide value? And it's like, yeah, getting your people to love you, who are fans, to sort of come together and pay for experiences. And we know that millennials and Gen Z like experiences. That's their thing.
Right.
So I could see a lot of publications really getting into this if they can pull it off, if they can make it work.
Yeah, a lot of them are turning to building communities and just having an audience that's excited for their content and willing to pay. It's like not necessarily that different from a creator having a Patreon account and just getting money for creating things that people like and their audience enjoys. And this is a similar thing, just on a bigger scale with these businesses that are much larger. It seems to be mostly just about creating value for customers now, instead of just subscribing to a magazine just cause. Mm-hmm. You subscribe to a publication now because you really like the writing or you really like the people that also subscribe to it. So building that community factor is kind of the way of the future here, it looks like.
Yeah, I would be curious to know about other media publications that offer the added value of community in person and online, but especially in person events. That to me is very interesting.
Yeah, it's a big deal. All right, and that's going to do it for us today. Thanks for tuning into the Hustle Daily Show. We're a proud part of HubSpot Media. Our editor is Robert Hartwig, and our executive producer is Darren Clark. We got a lot more tech and business coverage in our newsletter. If you're not subscribed, go get signed up at thehustle.co/email and follow us on Instagram at thehustledaily. We'll catch you later. Okay, look. Side hustles fail when they consume all of your time. I mean, every single bit of it. The pros, though, work smarter with AI doing all the heavy lifting. To help you out, we just dropped the Side Hustle Accelerator database. You can search your exact problem for your side hustle, grab the perfect prompt, and get results. If you're struggling with marketing, content, and customer service, it's all solved in just seconds. This isn't just another tool, guys. It's your unfair advantage in a spreadsheet. So stop asking AI the wrong questions and start scaling with what actually works. You can get it for free in the link in our show notes. And you can stop right now, actually. Why don't you take a look down at those show notes and tap the link? You don't want to sleep on this.